Here we have Harry, whose jockey club name is Worth the Money, and he's a 16 hand, 7-year old by Tis Now. Geez, I almost forgot that for a second. He last raced in the fall of 2024, and he spent the whole winter turned out, which is nice. And now he's been here for probably going on close to a month, and we've done a lot with this horse. And actually, I have to give credit to my husband Billy because he's been doing like 90% of the riding on this horse. I'm just getting on to do the video, but he's been riding him 4 or 5 days a week very consistently. And actually, today I was fence judging at Fair Hill, but he took Harry out on his first hack around the property, down the road, in the woods, by the pastures, and he was fantastic. And he took some video from his back, some between the ears video, and sent it to me. So I included those couple of clips at the end of this ride video. So if you watch through the whole thing, you can see how good he was hacking out. He actually told me that Harry was better than his personal horse, which is sort of hilarious. So that was good. So it's nice to know that Harry enjoys hacking. We'll certainly do a lot more of that with him. I know Billy wants to take him on a big trail ride field trip. So Billy's doing all the work with this horse. Now, Billy likes him in this bit. This is a sort of like a moderate elevator. For me, I thought it was a little bit too much. Of course, I'm asking him to be probably in more of a frame than Billy would be. So I will definitely back off the bit that I'm going to ride him in the next time. But it's fine. We still got some good work done in it. And I always start him to the right. His right bend is just his little bit easier direction. And he did some nice trot work to the right. Always just, I'm starting to ask him to be a little bit lateral. So coming through the corners and out of the corners, I'm often asking him to just start to consider the idea of moving laterally off my inside leg. Actually, more so to the left, because the left is the direction we have to work a little bit harder for the bend. So I'm definitely starting to ask him for the notion of stepping off of my inside leg. And like here, he's giving me some nice. Oh, he just came up a little bit. There we go. He gives me a couple of nice steps, and then he sort of comes above a little bit, and then he comes back. All totally normal stuff for a green horse. So I actually thought that when we did this ride the other day, he probably gave me his best little segments of left flexion that I've had on him yet. It's like right here, he's starting to give me this left bend. A little comes up a little bit here. It's always hardest sort of like as you're going towards the gate and by the gate. And once you get the gate behind you, you have the brains a little bit better. There, I like that flexion there. So I'm actually asking him to step over off my inside leg there, which is obviously working to help him to understand the bend that we want, the softer connection across his top line. I like this bend. So I always like his bend the most on the corners or when I'm asking him to move laterally. It's hardest on the straightaway to keep that sort of bend through his rib cage around my inside leg. And then when I lose the rib cage, that's when the head comes up and you see him hollowing a little bit. So he has a great canter. It's actually a lot easier for him in both directions from the canter because he has a really sort of active uphill canter. I was quite happy with his canter work in both directions today. I like his frame here. He's softer across his top line. And then here again, he starts to give me some nice flexion to the right. And then there he does a better job of holding it down the long side. A little bobble as we go by the gate. We're having a conversation about holding up that outside shoulder. And his transitions from trot to canter have vastly improved. I'm sort of half asking him to canter over the poles. I would love it if he just decided to step in the canter over the pole, but his canter transitions we've really been working on, because actually a lot of the reason that he's in this little bit stronger bit is because where he does get strong is in the canter transitions. And he sort of just wants to quick trot into them, which lends itself into just sort of a downhill barreling type canter. And so this bit really helps Billy especially, but also me, to keep him from just sort of fast trotting into the canter. So I would love for him to step into the canter over the pole, but what I don't want to do is rush him over the pole or sort of goose him as we're going over the pole to get the canter, because that will just flatten him and make him run, and that's not what I want. So if he chooses to just trot over the pole, then that's fine. And then he did pick up the left canter, so who knows if the pole helped or not. But in any event, I was glad that we got our lead, and it took a couple of steps for me to rebalance him in the canter I wanted, but it didn't take me a whole lap around the ring. And then I thought when he came out of the canter here, he gave me a couple really nice steps in the trot and sort of a balanced, relaxed trot, so that was really good.
Boy, Harry, you're so good. You're a good boy. Yeah, well, we gotta go this way, Harry. Good boy. Good boy, Harry.